Hello, what's up everybody? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. This is CryptoSomniac, here to bring you everything crypto related, where the rich do not sleep. Welcome back. If this is your first time tuning in, welcome to the channel. We cover everything cryptocurrency related. And in this video, I want to cover ANTSHARES, ANTCoins, and do a little bit of technical chart analysis for you guys, just to break you guys in and show you how I chart some things. So, and for starters, Bitcoin, we're sitting around on the same price as we were yesterday. The price went up, I guess, a lot from the SegWit announcement, and perhaps some people took some profits a little bit. We haven't really moved much. It says we're down 1% over the last 24 hours, so nothing new there. I think we are still going to continue to see an increase in price over the next couple of weeks. I just think that we have a little bit of time on our hands until that happens, I guess. So let's talk about ANTSHARES. Well, the reason I want to talk about ANTSHARES today is because, well, one, it's immensely popular. It's totally undervalued in my opinion, and there's not a lot of people talking about it. Additionally, they have rebranding coming out in basically 2 days, and they've already started actually on Twitter. So if you go over to Twitter, they are changing to Neo, and I think this is a great move. I mean, when you're talking about a company that wants to be as big as Ethereum and claims to be, and in my opinion, even a little bit better than Ethereum, ANTSHARES just doesn't cut it. If I'm a big bank or whatever, I don't want to invest in a company called ANTSHARES, to be honest. I mean, it looked a little weird. So Neo, I think, is a great start, great rebranding, and they, like I said, they've already started here on Twitter. The ANTSHARES Twitter is now gone, so I think you're going to see a lot of stuff coming in the next couple of days as far as rebranding goes, and I think that could drive price up. I think in general it's a great time to buy in. So I just want to cover some of the basics. I don't want to go too deep into ANTSHARES and what it is, because I really want to talk about how you can invest in it and make money off it. But it's being quoted as the Ethereum of China, and we all know what Ethereum is right now and its market cap and how much money as a return it's made. And it's sort of like a combination between Ripple and Ethereum, where it can function as a currency and also be smart contract. They have what are called e-contracts, which can keep track of everything as far as the list goes on. Intellectual property rights, patent laws are extremely tricky in China, so a lot of room there. You can record things like titles on mortgages, assets, equities, stock options. You can create all these different sort of e-contracts, buying into a business, securities for an IPO, financial contracts at an institution, or even amongst individuals. It can do all these different types of things, and it can really solve a lot of problems. Additionally, China likes to have their own way of going about and doing everything. You'd be surprised by the huge corporations that they have that you'd actually have never heard of, because they have their own Facebook, they have their own WhatsApp. They don't like to use everything that everybody else uses. China wants to keep their eyes on everything and have their hand involved in everything, and you'd be surprised by how large these corporations are. Don't forget, China has a population of over 1 billion. They have about 1/7 of the world's population, and they could create something that is really cool and useful, even though you might not have heard about it. Like I said, there's companies, I forget what their Facebook equivalent is called, but it's the thing that everybody uses, just like we use Facebook. So they have quite an ambitious plan of digitalizing a lot of real-world assets. Now, let's talk a little bit about the price. So if we come over to here on CoinMarketCap, we have ANTSHARES, which is sitting at $7.31. So let me actually go to the chart that I pulled up on Coinigy. For those of you who never use Coinigy, it's what I like to use to analyze charts. It's free for the first 30 days, and then if you want to pay 10 bucks a month afterwards, you can. I'm still using the free trial. I will probably purchase it afterwards because I do like it a lot. But I want to cover two tools that I use to do chart analysis. And I think you should have multiple pieces of information when you go to make a trade. I don't think you should just read Fibonacci levels and go, okay, I'm buying in, or read one news article and okay, I'm buying in, or one moving average and I'm buying in. I think you should combine 2 or 3 of them together. And I'm just going to show you two pretty easy to use tools. So I'm going to cover Fibonacci retracement first. So this is a graph going back to, it looks like I am at the beginning of beginning of June almost here at the 5th, and we are using 1-hour candles. So we had the big announcement back in the beginning of July that was hyped up, and we saw a big price drop afterwards, and we've been consolidating since then. It looks like we are, you know, the bounces are getting less and less. So let's do a Fibonacci retracement. What that is if you click here, this symbol here, the pitchfork, and then go to Fibonacci retracement. What this does is you basically can measure a low point to a high point and get different retracement levels. So if you start here at the bottom, let's go right here, and then drag this up to the top, you'll see these different Fibonacci ratios. You see 50%, 38, 23, 61 down here. And to use this tool, basically you want to measure big spikes, and a good time to buy in is when we retrace back to something below the 62% mark. Now, I don't know, there's a lot of math and science that goes into these levels, the 61.8%. There is technical details that if you want to Google Fibonacci retracement, I'm sure you could find out what the 61.8 or how it's derived. But it's usually a level that we look to buy back in at when you see such a huge spike. So ideally, you'd want to buy in somewhere in this blue range here. So we actually hit that price, and I quoted this back in another video back in, I forget, a couple weeks ago when I covered some chart analysis, Q prices to buy in at, and I was saying that this might be a good price to buy in at. We hit it again over here, and we're kind of out of that range at the moment, but not too much. Now, I'm going to cover a couple of other pieces of info here, but I do think it could be a good time to buy into ANTSHARES if you're thinking long term. Now, I know we aren't in this 61.8 range, but I'm going to go out on a limb and just make a case basically here for ANTSHARES, for NEO, and say that it is a good investment. Additionally, you could do another Fibonacci retracement on, let's just delete this one, on the next peak. So if we go here and we click another fib retracement, where is it? Right there, and go from this line to this line, you can see 61% would be like right here. So somewhere in this blue range would be good to buy back in at. Now, again, I'm going to go out on a limb here. I purchased ANTSHARES yesterday or the day before. I forget when. I added some more to my portfolio because of the SegWit activation, because I think a lot of these altcoins are still tied to Bitcoin in most cases. So that's how to use the Fibonacci retracement tool at a quick glance. I go over how to use basically all of these tools in depth in my cryptocurrency investment course. You can get it for just $10 by enrolling now. It's over on Udemy. I'll link the description below. I cover how to use a bunch of these chart analysis tools, and I go in depth and talk about how you can really use them to set up trades for the long term or the short term. I cover how to get invested in cryptocurrency, how to set up a wallet, how to protect your money. And just today, I decided to basically unlock the Facebook group for people that want to join. I had it closed off in addition to my Telegram chat, and I don't think it makes sense to have two platforms that are closed for messaging. You know, there's really no point. So what I did is I opened up the Facebook group. It's called Cryptosomniac's Cryptocurrency Fortune Group. I'm working on getting all my banners basically worked on or designed. I'm trying to get them syndicated across the different platforms. So don't mind the crappy artwork right now. It's something I just pulled off the internet. But I opened this up to everybody basically, and feel free to join. You will have to click join, I believe, since it is a Facebook group, but I'll approve anybody that doesn't look like you know, a Joe Blow coming out of the woods. So take a look at that. So take a look at the Facebook group that is listed in my profile or my description of this video below. Now, coming back to the chart, I want to show you guys another way to basically analyze charts. Now, I changed this to 2-hour candles because I like to use this tool here with 2-hour candles a little bit more. But if you go to the indicators at the top of the screen and you hit MACD, you can bring up the MACD indicators. And what that is it's sort of a visual representation of buys and sells. So you can really use this, if we zoom in a little bit further, to get an idea of when to buy and sell. So we have what are called the M's and the W's. And on the M's you want to buy, and on the W's you sell. So let me just draw this for you guys. Let's make this line thick. And here is an example of an M. You want to sell after you see an M, and what you see afterwards is the price decrease. Boom. So let's just go look for a couple of other examples. Here is, that's kind of a crappy M, but it does go down a little bit. If we come over here and zoom into the current price, we have a little M right there, and then we see, what do we see? We see that red candle right there dropping off. Let's show you W's. So here's a W right here, boom, 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 and then boom, the price goes up. So let me just draw that for you. We have right here, we have a W, and you see that big price increase right there? And let's just show you some other examples. I'll pull up other charts. Let's just take a look at, let's say, Ethereum / Bitcoin. And if we pull up the MACD, here we have an M. And then what do we see? Price drop off. We have a W here. Boom. Look at that long W right there, right in there. And then boom, the price shot up. Let's look here. Here's an M. And then the price, wow, look at that. Look at these indicators. Almost spot on. M right here. And we see price decrease. We see an M right here, price decrease. Plenty of examples here. Let's go back even further. Here's a nice M right here, and then boom, look at that price dip right from there. And then you can kind of draw out an M right afterwards, and then the price goes back up. Let's go further. You can see many of these. Price goes down. Let's go back further. Here's a nice W. Price went up a little bit there, not a whole lot. Here's another M. Price went down. Let's go back. Here's another M, and price went down. So you can see a lot of these. It's not 100%. So like I said, you want to combine a lot of these tools together to get your best prediction of price. You got the Fibonacci retracement, you got MACD, we got news, you got relative strength indicators, moving averages. You can take a look at a bunch of things and sort of layer them on top of each other before you make a decision on whether to buy or sell something. But I really just wanted to talk today about ANTSHARES. Like I said, there's not a lot of people talking about it, and I think it's extremely undervalued. Additionally, you have Ant Coins, and I didn't talk about them in this video, but I covered a whole video on what Ant Coins does, and I would highly recommend you check that video out. You can earn dividends on your ANTSHARES. It's something that makes ANTSHARES a little bit unique, but it's sort of like a dividend in the stock market. You know how Apple would pay you out dividends each quarter? Well, ANTSHARES pays you dividends out like in real time, like every 10 minutes. I think you can claim your Ant Coins. Now, I cover all that in a separate video. I'll link that as well because it's really cool. You earn Ant Coins, which are worth real money. If you search the coin market cap here for Ant Coin, you see they are trading at $2.17 right now. Now, they are only on one exchange, 19800 by so it's a Chinese exchange, but eventually it's just a matter of time until these become listed on other exchanges. Additionally, some big news I forgot to cover. ANTSHARES was just listed on Bittrex as an Ethereum trading pair. So not only can you go from Bitcoin to ANTSHARES, you can go from Ethereum to ANTSHARES now. And I would like to see ANTSHARES added on some other exchanges. I would like to see the only Western exchange it's on at the moment, if we come here and type in ANTSHARES, is Bittrex. And the rest are Chinese websites. I would like to see it traded on something like Poloniex would be real nice. And I think we would see a big price increase if that were to happen. And I think that needs to happen for a little bit more Western adoption. I also think, I guess I'm just bringing up some of the negative points here about ANTSHARES. I think their English conversion or translation could be a little bit better. Their website is, I just think they could convey their information a little bit better in English and have someone, a better director in charge of that, because there have been, I think, a miscommunication there a little bit. But that's going to do it for this video, guys. Thank you for watching. Please give me a like, a subscriber if you're not already. I make these videos daily. For you guys. It shows people that the video is worth watching if you're to give me a thumbs up. So I appreciate the support. Additionally, you can consider becoming a Patreon over on patreon.com. I'll list that below as well. What that is an opportunity for you guys to pledge money to the channel. What I do is I reinvest everything that I make into this channel because I want to help grow it and help spread the knowledge to you guys, because I think that's the fairest thing to do. I think everyone has an opportunity to get in something that's extremely new and bound to make us all a lot of money in the long run. I think this is the beginning of cryptocurrency. So until next time, guys, it was great talking to you all. Stay cryptosomniacs, because the rich never sleep.